everyone, my name is Sonia and thank you so much for selecting this video. Tell me something today. Do you like receiving compliments? Well, I do. I love receiving compliments. You know, when you compliment someone, that's the best thing that you can do for them. Because when you give someone a compliment or say something good about them, instantly you feel so positive and that person feels so good. So in English, if you want to give and receive good or great compliments to people, there are very simple and easy expressions that you can use. Today we are going to do a lesson on giving and receiving compliments. So let's get started and see what are the different amazing expressions that we can use to give these compliments to people. Now I've made life very easy for you. When do you give compliments to people? We compliment people for various things, like the way they look, or some work that they've done, or maybe a talent that they possess, and various other things like that. So what I've done is I've divided the board and put up a few topics here on how you can give people compliments. The very first section that I have is to compliment someone on their appearance. Now look at the first phrase. It says, "You look lovely." When can you use this? Now it's casual, yet it can even be used at a workplace. So for example, if you have a colleague who's dressed up for some occasion, maybe it's her birthday or her wedding anniversary, and she's looking really good, you could walk up to her and say, "Hey, you know what, Sam? You look lovely today." Or if it's a guy, you could say, "You look really handsome today, you look great." The next one I have for you is also a very interesting compliment. It says, "I like your new look." Now when can you use this one? It has to be very specific, right? So for example, if you know someone, maybe a friend or a colleague at work, who's always had the same look for a long time, has never really experimented with the way they look, but suddenly they show up to work with a brand new hairstyle or something very different, something they've never worn before, and they look really good. You could tell them, "Well, I like your new look. It really suits you." I'm sure that will make that person's day. The next one here is also a very specific compliment on someone's appearance. It says, "This color looks good on you." You could even say, "This color looks great on you." Now, sometimes people don't really experiment with the colors that they wear. Many a times we tend to wear the same kind of color just because we're not very sure about them. But if a friend of yours has worn a color which is something very unique or very different and is really looking good on them, you could say, "Hey, you know what, this color looks great on you," or "This color looks good on you." Instead of just saying you look nice, give them a specific compliment. I'm sure they'll really like it. So these are three interesting phrases that you can use to give someone a compliment on their appearance. That's on the way that they look. The next one that I have for you, the next set of three phrases, talks about giving compliments to someone for their talent. Now we all have talents, right? Everyone is good at something or the other. So how do you give someone a compliment about their talent? Look at this one. "You have an amazing voice." So if you have a friend or even a family member or anyone you are familiar with who sings extremely well, this is a great compliment to give. You can tell them, "Well, hey, you sang extremely well today. You have an amazing voice." And remember, whenever you give a compliment to someone, it's extremely important to sound very genuine and to sound confident and sound nice as well. And look at this word, amazing. When you say it like that, it automatically sounds so good. The next one here is, "I love the way you dance." I'm a lover of dance, all right? And if I see someone who dances extremely well, this is a great compliment to give them. You could say, "I love the way you dance extremely well. It's a pleasure to watch you." The next one here is something that you can use for a lot of different kind of talents. It starts with, you are so good at. So for example, if someone's good at, sketching or drawing, you could tell them, you are so good at sketching, or maybe you are so good at making a speech. That's also a talent. So this is a very good, very useful one. You can use it for various different kind of talents, all right? Now the next section here, this is specifically to compliment someone when they have done something good, some kind of good work, okay? Maybe you could use them at office. You could even use these phrases to encourage a student, all right? So for example, the first one says, you've worked very hard on it and it shows. Now say, you're a manager maybe at work, and there was a project that you had given to one of your teammates, and he's really done a good job. So it's not enough to just say, hey, good job or nicely done. You could say something like this. You could say, well, hey, John, you've worked very hard on it and it actually shows. So this is, it acts as a compliment. It's also very encouraging. The next time the person will want to do even a better job. The next one here, very simple, but always effective. You could tell the person, well, that's simply a great job, all right? If someone's even got a promotion, you can say, well, that's a great job, you've got a promotion and you're going to climb up the ladder now. And the final one that I have for you here with relation to work says, it looks like you have put in hours. Now this you could possibly use for someone who you really know has worked hard and they've put in a lot of effort to do some kind of work. That's when you can tell them this. It looks like you've put in hours, which means it looks like you have put in a lot of effort. This is a great compliment to give to someone who's done some kind of work for the very first time, because this will also act as a very encouraging statement for them. So these are a couple of expressions that you can use, 3 of them for someone's appearance, another 3 for a talent that one possesses, and finally for the work that someone has done. Now, obviously giving compliments is important, but we should also know how to receive compliments, right? So now what we're going to look at quickly is how to receive compliments. So like I said, it's also important to be able to receive a compliment graciously. Sometimes we feel shy or we feel awkward when someone gives us a compliment, but don't do that. It's a great thing. Someone appreciates you and you should take that graciously. So let's look at some 3 very easy and simple expressions to receive a compliment. The first one, thank you for saying that. It's so simple. Okay, even if you feel a bit shy or awkward, just make a nice sentence and say, thank you for saying that if someone gives you a compliment. The next one is even better. It says, I appreciate that. So if someone has complimented you for, a good presentation that you made, or maybe some kind of work that you've done which has turned out really well, you could simply say, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And finally, there's also another very casual expression that you can use where you can say, that's so nice of you. All right. This is really nice because this compliment in turn also makes the other person feel really good about giving you a compliment. So 3 very simple expressions that you can use when you want to give a response to someone's compliment. Alright, so I hope that you've enjoyed this lesson. I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. It's a very simple lesson yet very effective for your day-to-day conversation. I'll be back soon with something interesting. Till then, you take care and keep practicing. Bye-bye.